Hey everybody, Ryan Bassam here with my buddy Kym Lloyd. We've got another Road to 100 podcast for you, presented by Mallard Bay, your best guide in outfitter solutions, Benelli Firearms, the best shotguns on the market, Lacrosse boots, keep those feet warm, RW Coolidge for the best nostalgic leather and canvas goods for the waterfowler, First Light, their new waterfowl line has been keeping us warm and dry on our hunts around the world, Apex Ammunitions, from steel to tungsten, best ammo for the job, Sound Gear, protect your hearing and enjoy the hunt. Montana Knife Company, you got to eat those birds, guys. And finally, Safari Club International, our favorite conservation organization, protecting hunters' rights around the world.
Coming up in this episode of the Road to 100 podcast, we're excited to introduce you guys to Mike and Grayson Ponder, the father-son waterfowling duo. Mike is a highly accomplished hunter who has hunted all over the world and mentored his son Grayson to become one of the youngest ever to complete the American 41 waterfowl species. And Grayson doesn't just crush it with the birds, he's also a professional clay target shooter and competes in the National Sporting Clays Association. So, these two will share their insights on subgauge shotguns, layout boat shooting, and how their special bonds over birds has fueled Grayson's drive for excellence in hunting and competitive shooting. Stay tuned for this episode of the Road to 100. And quick public service announcement, there were some audio file corruption issues with this episode, so what you're hearing is straight out of the camera and not up to our usual podcast standards, but the great subject matter from Mike and Grayson throughout this episode makes it well worth the listen, so we hope you guys enjoy. In the heart of every waterfowl hunter, there's a memory where it all began. For us, the waterfowl life started in the southern United States in the flooded timbers and expansive marshland. But as our journey unfolded, the quest for waterfowl led us beyond our home. The passion eventually takes us to different flyways, different countries, and beyond. We discovered that the culture of waterfowl transcends borders. And so, a daring dream took root, a dream to hunt 100 different species of waterfowl across the globe. We wanted to share the story of adventure and encounters with fellow hunters, each sharing the same passion as us. The landscapes will change, the species will vary, but the passion remains the same. One dream, a long road, 100 species. This is the Road to 100.
All right, everybody, welcome to another podcast with the Road to 100. We're here with some good buddies of mine. Kym just had the opportunity to meet, but we have Grayson and Mike Ponder. We met several years ago when I was working at Sitka Gear, and we've stayed friends ever since. And avid waterfowl hunters. They've got a super unique story as father and son, and we've been blessed with the opportunity to get to hang out with them for a few days here in Green Bay and hunting on Lake Michigan. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun, guys. We really appreciate it.
We've really enjoyed the company.
Sure. Well, it exceeded expectations, and we've checked off 2 new species so far. So make sure you tune in, watch the episode. We were just talking about some funny moments in the layout boat, so we'll see how that edit comes out from Kym. But
it'll be good. It'll be good.
We just hope our moms don't watch.
The southern waterfowl hunter that's only hunted standing up or laying down on the ground. Yeah. This was the adaptation.
So this was in waves doing this, right?
Right.
So, yeah, definitely watch that episode and look for that. And you said we've got more coming because we're on night 2.
Right.
Hunt
right. One full day tomorrow. Yep.
So we're excited.
We have a good plan too.
Yes, we do. I'm excited for it. 3 days of charm. We're gonna get our shooting figured out. We're coming off several hunts where Kym and I were just like, double, triple, God. And now it's like, crap.
Forgot how to shoot. It's
spending 10 shells to kill 1 bird.
Yeah.
Good grief. Yeah. Anyways, watch the episode. So, we got to kick it off right with some rapid fire.
All right.
Here we go. So, Grayson, you're going to do this one, okay?
Okay.
We're going to do 1 round of rapid fire just for Grayson. You're just going to answer as fast as you can. 60 seconds or less, 10 questions.
Stop for it.
Ninja Turtles or G.I. Joe?
Ninja Turtles.
Good call. Ducks or geese?
Ducks.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
You started there for a second.
my girlfriend's a blonde, so.
Yeah, come on, dude. Pass the test.
Yeah.
12 gauge or sub gauges?
Subgauge.
Steak or lobster?
Steak.
Seaducks or divers?
Seaducks.
Mermaids or fairies?
Mermaids, I guess. Yeah.
Safer.
Yeah, for sure. Taxidermy, yes or no? Taxidermy, yes or no?
Yes.
Your dad got me. I was delayed on that one. Winter or summer?
What summer?
All right. Golden Eye or Old Squaw?
Old Squaw.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done. All right. So now we got a little bit more of how his brain works, at least. So we can go into the rest of this
Now we're ready.
podcast.
Yeah, now
we can have the conversation.
And I'm so glad you didn't say Barbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
At least G.I. Joe, right?
yeah. I thought about it, and then I was like, yeah, maybe this is the right time to talk to you about this. Now that we've been super controversial in the first 5 minutes already, let's kick it off. I kind of said in the beginning, I think you guys have an incredibly unique story. We've talked a little bit about it while we've been here, but would love to hear your story, your journey as father and son waterfowl hunters. What you've seen, where you've been, what you've done, how it all started. Start at the beginning.
Do you mind if I start?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
And take us through it.
Well, first of all, I was truly blessed, like I'm sure a lot of people here, had a father that really took me in the outdoors and sacrificed a lot of what he wanted to do to make sure that I became enthralled, really enjoyed it and got hooked on it. So I'm grateful. Then I had the fortunate situation to do that with my son. Okay. So at a very young age, he's been hunting with me. Oh my God. He was 1 year and 4 months old. I got a picture of him sitting on my lap. I was in a duck blind. No kidding. Okay. But I've always hunted big game, always hunted waterfowl, been fortunate enough to really enjoy it all. And Gray, at 7 years of age, 7 years of age, because it was summer, then it had been in the winter. He said, Dad, he goes, I want to hunt the slam. Now, the slam in my mind, in your mind, is the super slam of North America. And I'm like, and I was working on mine, and I'm like, well, okay, it's all about you, so that's on the shelf. We'll do it for him. He goes, no, Dad. He goes, I want to shoot the waterfowl slam. Here's the crazy part. I've hunted waterfowl. I was, 40-something, 50 at the time, whatever it was. And I didn't know there was a waterfowl slam.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. Yeah. He, thankfully, introduced me, how about that, into the waterfowl slam. And I said, you know what, buddy? He told me about it. I said, let's do it. Let's do it together.
Right.
So the first destination that we went to, he's 7 years old. First destination, St. Paul Island.
That's so crazy.
Now, we hunted other things leading up to that, right?
And for those that are watching or listening to this, explain St. Paul.
Oh, I'll let you have some of that glory, and then I'll finish up.
St. Paul, I think for North American waterfowl, you can probably agree, is like the epitome of what you can do, what you can achieve as a waterfowler.
Agreed.
I mean, the species that you go for there is king eider, and that is it's the king. It's the top of the list. That's what everybody works up towards. And, it's a desolate place of very little people, very little... there's not much going on there.
It's its own world.
It really is. I mean, it's in the middle of the Bering Sea. You got to take a bunch of flights to get there.
Half the time, they never make it there.
Or you get stuck there.
Yeah. That's right. Or you get stuck there. We witnessed that firsthand.
But it's just horrible weather just about at every turn.
Yeah.
Right. Big seas. But the ducks are incredible.
And if I may...
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today, not about the podcast, just, you think through past experiences. When we shot our king eiders together, he's 7.
That's so wild.
So I had to have Shane Smith and a couple other outfitters vouch for Grayson to Mo and Jeff because, bring a 7-year-old. And they're like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
He's hardcore.
Exactly.
So they met us at the airport. It was a cool thing. So I had to get that done. And so, but shooting our first king eiders, I'll never forget this. It was yesterday. We were hunting on the point because it was too gnarly to get out that day. We couldn't get the boats out, so they hunt on the point there. You've probably done that.
Oh, yeah.
Grayson's in front of you about 15 yards, maybe. Yeah. With this 20 gauge Benelli Montefeltro, shot everything with that. Cut down stock. I'm back there with my 391 Beretta, and I see these 2 kings. They're coming. And I watch Grayson sit up, stones the first one. It's falling behind me, and I shoot the second one. We shot our king eiders together. Wow, it was awesome. And they landed on the ground.
And that was like the official start for you guys, species 1 up your slam.
There were a few leading up to that.
I was talking about the destination.
Yeah, that was the first big I had determined that I wanted to do the slam, and we both agreed on it, and that was the first, like, okay, we need to go get our kings. And that was the main deal.
And there was an opportunity that I had heard about, so we took advantage of it. Somebody had canceled. We said, let's just go,
Sure.
But that was our first big hunt journey-wise. And I got to tell you, and look, this is my son who I would, do anything for, lay my life on the line. But the cool part, he's also my best friend.
Yeah.
And he and I have done the slam together.
It's cool.
With primarily Subgauges, almost all 28, some 20. And we're halfway through the second slam already.
Yeah.
And, you shot your slam, you finished it when you were probably 12 or 13.
Yeah, I want to say it was 13.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think, and it's an unofficial thing, but I think you're probably
the youngest. I would have to say he's the youngest.
Gotta be.
I would think I was probably close, mainly because of, I would think I was probably the first person to shoot a king, or the youngest person to shoot a king.
No, we know you were, and it was verified
That's
by
true,
Mo and
yeah.
Jeff, except for an Inuit that lives on the island. That's different. But
Yeah.
we're talking person going there.
Yeah.
He was absolutely the youngest that ever been there.
Sure.
Yeah, and I wasn't chasing that by any means,
Yeah,
the
it's
youngest person to do it, but it just worked out that
You
way.
don't think about that when you're
I was
70.
blessed to do it, and
He's cool.
yeah.
So cool. And so I want to know more about that first journey on the 41 for you guys. And I know it's 41 plus.
Yeah.
But so you go to St. Paul.
Yeah.
All right. Where was the next stop after that? Like, what was it like? Let me hold that question. What was the next location after that you went to?
I think the next one after that was Valdez.
Yeah, but you know what? We got this backwards.
Did we
Take
go to
that
Valdez
back.
first?
We went to Valdez first. This is what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's December.
Yeah.
Sorry. He wanted to shoot a harlequin so bad. That's how it started. This is how, sorry, folks, sorry. It's a true story.
Rewind.
So we went to Valdez first. He shot his harlequins. It was out of layout boats.
Yeah.
Tim,
Wells.
Tim from Pacific.
Oh, Tim
Bletcher.
Wells. Hunter.
Anyways, great guy.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Tim, for not remembering your last name. Great guy, runs a great outfit. We hunted barrows, scoter, and harlequin.
Yeah.
It was amazing how we had together. And what happened was I came home. Shane Smith, good friend of ours, world-class taxidermist,
One of the best.
called me and, hey, Mike, you're not going to believe this. Mo and Jeff just called me. They had a cancellation. That's why we came in December and we left in January. That's what happened.
That's awesome. You
So-
gotta take advantage of those opportunities
Right,
when they come
right.
up. Yeah.
So think about this. In 2 months, he scratches off his harlequins, all 3 scopers, old squaw, which you already had old squaw part.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
And King Eider, and I'm probably missing something in there.
Barrows.
Barrows.
Yeah.
In 2 trays.
And I might add that was before I had shot. So, I live in Illinois, and everything that we shoot around here is wood duck, mallard, teal, that and that. I had not shot wood duck, mallard, or any of the teal.
That is true.
And I had scratched off the king, harlequin, and...
He shot all the Seaducks.
Yeah.
So you started at the top.
Yeah.
And we didn't purposely do it that way.
No, sure.
It just happened to be that way.
You
But
went
no.
after the shiny toy first.
Right.
Yeah. I don't blame you at all.
So how Carolyn, my incredible wife, partner, his incredible mom, how we surprised him with that was he had no idea he was going to St. Paul.
Yeah.
So we had this great big box, and in the box had another box and another box, right?
For Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
And Mo and Jeff were really excited. They sent us a picture of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Think about St. Paul Island. He opened it up, and we surprised him with this trip to St. Paul. He was,
I was ecstatic.
Heck yeah.
so that was the beginning of us.
That's so cool.
So Valdez was the start, and we had an incredible hunt there.
Yeah.
And then went to St. Paul. But I wouldn't trade. I don't care what species it was. And usually we were successful. Sometimes we weren't. Like Florida, I had to go back twice.
Oh,
It was a whistling ducks. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a trip.
But you know what? We met incredible people along the way.
Yeah.
Him and I, the memories we have will be forever ingrained in our
sure.
minds.
Yeah.
And I'm a blessed man, that we did this together.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think I relate to that because this was before COVID. My dad got into turkey hunting. And I was like, let's do the World Turkey Slam together.
Ooh, the world.
And we started with oscillated. We went straight down
Yeah,
the
why not?
jungle and got after him. And but it was really cool doing that with him.
Yeah.
I mean, what you guys did was a lot more travel and a lot more going and doing. But being able to share that experience with your dad's pretty cool.
Oh,
It really was.
And it never ends. Like this journey right here.
No, it just keeps going.
The 2 of us are a team, and we're helping you guys achieve
right.
some of your goals for your program. We just love it.
good team.
Very
It's
good
a good
team.
team. Yeah.
Watching these guys work together.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
boats,
Well,
it's-
a lot of times they're not even talking. I see Gray just like with the boat. I'm just like, what is
Yeah,
this?
layout hunting, as you can see now, it's technical. You got
Oh, yeah.
everything organized. It's
Yes.
the way it goes in, the way it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys got it buttoned up for
Tight
sure.
ship, yeah.
No, it's awesome. Well, so I'm still thinking about this journey you guys went on.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different ways I think to go about collecting the unofficial North American 41 and then some. Which locations did y'all go to after Alaska? Like, so obviously Florida.
Yep, we went down there for the whistlers and the model.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where else did y'all go to?
We went to Obregon for
This
cinnamon.
is Mexico.
Yeah, Obregon,
Obregon,
Mexico.
And I did that also because of Black Brant, and like you say, unofficial. I classed it Atlantic and
Same.
West Coast Brant, same as you.
Yep.
So there was that. I shot my pintail down there and cinnamon and other things there. We went to North Carolina.
For our swans.
Yep.
North Carolina, we went to, where was the cranes? Cranes were in Texas.
Texas. And then
California, we did bluebill canvasback.
that's right.
Oh, cool.
And some snows and blues there.
And I shot my spec there.
He shot his spec there
Nice.
Yeah.
in California.
East Coast, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Those.
Pick up your black ducks.
Right.
Now, the eider, we consider, some people do, that, the king in the Pacific, or king in the East Coast, some say that's it. But we decided, like a lot of guys do, to include the Pacific.
Yeah.
So we went to Cold Bay
Yep.
with Jeff Wasley, had a
Yep.
great trip. We shot two
Jeff's
beautiful,
a great guy.
Yeah.
great guy. We shot two great Pacifics there.
Went to Kodiak.
Went to Kodiak, hunted Pacifics there.
Yep.
Yeah.
ADAC.
ADAC, we drew our emperor tags.
Yes.
We put
Yeah.
them as a party.
Lucky dogs. We just entered. Nobody else entered. Y'all stay out of there.
And Gray and I had said, because we were fortunate, we hunted Cold Bay, Valdez, St. Paul, and Kodiak. We hunted all that.
Kodiak, yeah.
And we're like, all right, where would we go to hunt? And we both said, let's go to ADAC. What an incredible
You sold me on that. I haven't been to ADAC
It's
yet.
I'm
such
telling
a
you,
cool
it's a great
place.
I need to go do that.
I think it's the
Put it
coolest
on our
solution.
And I shot my emperor of my 28.
That's cool.
He shot yours with your 20.
Yep.
That's cool.
Man, I'm missing
There's a few in there, but I mean, those
Texas.
those were the main
South
destinations.
Dakota. We hunted
Yeah,
South Dakota, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Those are,
Everything else just kind of came, from being around here. Like most of my divers came from Lake Michigan,
Yeah. Makes sense.
and then stuff at home.
and we had, a lot. Most of it's self-guided, but some you can't, right? Like St.
you
Paul.
gotta go back.
And then we had friends that knew he needed certain species. Like to his point, he had shot basically everything except a wood duck.
Yeah.
Now think about that. We live in Illinois, we in Wisconsin. So a very good friend of ours, dear friend of ours, Jack Brittingham,
Yeah.
he said, Gray, I tell you what, come down to my place. And he was so gracious, went down there and he shot his first wood duck, or
That's awesome.
5 or 6 down there.
Yeah.
It was a great trip. So we had a lot of friends
Sure.
get involved to get behind us as well.
It was.
And so it's been great. I mean, it's just been a
really
great
cool.
journey.
So I also know there's a little bit of story behind the hooded merganser. Do you think that was the?
I have the ultimate story behind it. If you don't mind me
I
telling.
want you to
This
tell
is
it.
funny.
This is hilarious. Okay. So Gray needed Uno Bird, a hooded
This is
merganser.
the last one of these.
That's right. Now everything is all drakes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In the duck world, and he had shot a hen hooded one time, long
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
So we're not counting. So end of the season in Illinois goes to about the 20th. Cold, cold, cold. I'm going down to the harbor, Waukegan Harbor, and I'm scouting because I know when that ice is up, they go in these harbors.
Yeah.
So I saw 2 hooded mergansers, perfect. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're only going to hunt down their time of the year. So he needed 2 birds. He needed that one and the common merganser.
Yeah.
They were both there. Like, there's a number of commons, but there was 2
Yeah.
hoodeds. So I brought a friend of ours with, avid waterfowler, great guy, since passed away last year, rest his soul.
Yeah.
And went down there with our Banks one-man Hercules, with our duck water, launched, went around the point in the dark, set up that layout boat. It was really cold.
Yeah. It was.
Put him in there. Me and Mark backed off. About an hour later, I hear bang, bang. He gets on the radio. 1 down, 1 to go. Come up as a perfect Drake
Common.
common merganser. Gray goes, hey, Dad, He goes, I got to get, and he rare from, I'm cold. I got to get us both for
That
this.
was so.
I go, no problem. We pulled in the harbor. I left the layout boat sitting there, and Mark goes, you know what? I'll get in for a little bit. I go, no problem.
You can
So-
guess where this is going.
So, oh, it gets worse. So we put the brinks on the outside, getting ready for Gray, and I said, hey, Mark, big favor. Do not shoot. If anything comes in, like, looks like a Armageddon, do not shoot it, because there's only 2 that I know of. So Gray and we're on the inside. And all of a sudden, we heard bang, bang. Cool. We run out with the duck water, go out there, and there's Mark sitting there like this. And in the water, he's floating this duck, and he rolls up with the net, and that's it. He pulls it out. It's the perfect.
Oh, no.
So I go back to the layout boat, and hey, Mark, this is a hooded merganser. Do not,
In case you didn't
shoot,
know.
do not shoot the next one. Mike, oh my God, Grayson, I'm so sorry. Okay. We go back in. About 10 minutes later, it's about ready to go. And hey, Mark, I'm going to switch them out. All right. We see this drake and hen hooded merganser go over the break wall. It's going, and we hear bang.
No, we didn't even hear bang. I
I
heard bang, and I watched the bird.
Oh, that's right. He shoots the other hooded merganser. I said, Mark, you're done. And the tender boat, your day's done. Did you believe that? So,
Did he know he was shooting a hooded merganser?
he was there to help us. To help.
What, he just couldn't help it?
I had no idea, man.
Jeez.
He saw wings and shot it.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He didn't even idea he just shot. But what are the chances of shooting the only 2 that I scouted for a week? Anyways,
Jeez.
but it's been a great.
So do you have a hooded merganser?
So technically, no, I don't have a drake. I mean, I shot. No.
We gotta make this.
I've got some.
Everybody always says, "Oh my God, they're in our backyard, they're in our house, they're everywhere." Yeah, except our backyard.
So I guess you could say unofficially, I haven't finished the slam.
Yeah,
But I have.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's a personal goal to do with all drakes.
Yeah.
Man, where I grew up hunting, there's a little pond.
Yes, here we go.
Yeah.
Tell us all
Here we
about it in a minute.
That's the best part. They're always right there in that pond.
So every time they say, "What's the one bird?" They'll go, "Oh my God, we have them all over the place back home."
Oh, jeez. Well, that's funny. Well, great stories.
Oh, we've got a lot of them. Trust me.
Trust me, I'm about to go fishing for some more. So, next question: of all the places you've been, what's the craziest story you have? Or let's start there and help me think of some more. Kyle.
Like define craziest.
Yeah,
crazy meaning like it's fair.
Yeah.
Crazy funny, crazy dangerous, crazy.
Yeah, give us the most
like
dangerous thing that happened.
Cold Bay
And then give
has
us-
to be in there for dangerous.
Start there.
Cold Bay, and I'll leave an outfitter's name out of it to protect his innocence. Adak.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
the
bad.
scariest boat ride I ever in my life.
Yeah, that was bad.
Let's
I
hear
told
about it. I think I've heard the story.
That was
Alright,
bad.
So let's hear.
Well,
let's hear.
tell me about
crazy
Cold
boat
Bay.
story.
Well,
Talk
okay,
about Cold
I mean, Cold Bay, you've been to Alaska. The hunting there, weather sucks. Just about always. If you get the day, you go, and that's the day you have.
And I think, exactly. I mean, you could go for 5 or 6 days and get
Yes.
one good day on the water.
Exactly.
2 hours to get our
Yeah.
Pacific last
And I think,
fly out there.
and I know, but explain from y'all's perspective for everybody listening, like, why is it so dangerous with the water? It can go into the winds, the tides, etc.
Well, I mean, Alaska is known for high tides. It's known for really bad current, really bad weather storms that can come in, high winds, depending on where you're at. So all those things mixed together create really, really dangerous and bad situations.
With waves. And,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
exactly.
And there were a couple moments where I've been in the Zodiacs, small, I don't even know how big they're, 10 foot, maybe?
Maybe 10,
Maybe.
12 footers.
Makeshift layout.
Yeah, makeshift layout.
Yeah, it's like an inflatable.
That's right.
It's an inflatable raft with a metal bottom as well.
That's right.
Right.
Or no metal.
Or no metal bottom.
And, I've been in those things where you've got bad current, crosswind with the current, and we made the mistake of anchoring the bow
Right.
and the back of the boat, and it's starting to tip, and you're a mile offshore.
Yeah.
There's only one guy that can
The
get
radio's not working.
Yeah, that's another problem.
And you hit the water and
You're done.
You're done.
If you look, we all
cold.
look. You got to wear a life preserver, right? But with like we're hunting out here, water's 38 degrees.
Right.
Yeah. You fall in that water. I mean, you have to have the presence of mind to deal with the incredible pain of the chill, because you're going to drown if you don't. I mean, it's
Right.
quick. Water's a killer.
And I think that's, I mean, I won't say the guy's name, but I was talking to some guys in Alaska, and they're like, man, we put life preservers on because in case you fall out, we can at least recover the body.
That's what they claim.
You're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can't make it through the initial blast of cold and just deal with that, you're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's dangerous.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it look, anytime you mix water, boats, even in great weather,
yeah,
it's potentially dangerous.
Yeah, so you have to throw in all these elements that Alaska throws in.
Right.
So now hit us with this crazy
and it's not even that too. And you're there for the destination. You're there for that one, maybe two birds, right? And so you want to make it happen.
And so you're putting that pressure,
right?
And you go do things that maybe you should.
And that last day on Cold Bay, Jeff said to us, "Hey man, you guys good with this? Jeff, you know who we are. Let's roll." So we pushed that Zodiac off that shore. We went out in some really gnarly waves, and we pulled it off.
We pulled it off, but it was
he knew of us. He knew us.
Yeah.
You just can't ask anybody just to do that, because the mistake you can make in chasing these birds, you should forget the safety of it. Right. You got to be on the edge, but there's a point where of no return, and then especially with my son.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Anyways, tell us about it.
All right, we spent a lot of time on the water, big water, fishing, hunting, and we're fairly good seamen, right? We understand the do's and don'ts. We watch the weather a lot. We pay attention a lot to that. And we were on a deck, and we were there for Emperors, staying with this great husband and wife, great host, phenomenal. And it was basically a self-guided hunt.
Yeah. But
to get out to hunt Pacifics, he had a legit, 26, 20, or maybe a 32-foot with a cabin on it, enclosed cabin for Alaska. And I knew that he operates boats a lot because he is a game transporter for Alaska, for caribou and things of that nature. And he fishes a lot. He said up front, "Hey, I'm not a waterfowler. I want to use what we have to bring waterfowlers in." So I understood that. I was good at work. So we were going to go out finally to hunt Pacifics. And I was looking at my wind app, and I'm like, "Hey man, I don't think we should be going." Because I'm looking at the prevailing winds, what's out there, and this is going to be gale force winds at this time. And he's like, "Mike, we have a window." And I'm like, "Okay, but that window might not happen, right?" So we went against my better judgment. I tried talking him out of it, and he's like, "No, I'm good." I said, "Okay." The second mistake one, I said, "Let's go." Mistake number two was we left in dark 30. It was pitch dark. And that makes me uncomfortable. We go out in pitch dark, but on days where the waves are wrong, you can't see what you have to react with, right?
Yeah, and you got to be able to read the
That's
waves.
right.
Otherwise, you don't have.
Otherwise, you're feeling the waves and you can't see them. So anyways, so we're in this boat, and there was other 2 hunters from Texas who were, they had their Emperors. So great guys.
They know nothing about.
Nope, they never been in a big water. Great guys.
No chance.
They're in the back. He's in the pilot's seat. I'm sitting here, Gray, I'm in the back. And we're going. And I'm nervous. I can feel these waves moving this boat, right? And I can see on the map where we're at, and we have to go way around this point to get way down to hunt the.
That is a long run.
So when we hit that point, I know it's going to get worse because it's already bad.
Right.
So we're getting to that point, and I said, "Hey man," I said, "I really don't think we should be pulling this off." I said, these waves are pushing this boat around like I can't believe. So he kept saying, "No, man, I know we're good. I know we're good." It seemed like within seconds, this wave broadsided us. It was a rogue wave.
Yeah, for sure.
Broadsided. We can't see. Understand? We can't see. It's pitch dark. And that boat, I swear to you, that boat almost went completely over and didn't right itself.
It was really, really close.
It was so bad that when we came up, this is the scariest boat ride of my life. And he came back up, and you can tell he was rattled. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey man, you are turning this boat around right now because you have my son's life and these 2 gentlemen of mine in your hands. And if you're not turning around, I'm taking the wheel." So now the scary part is turning that thing around now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In the waves you can't see.
In the waves you can't see.
Yeah.
So it was a very tense moment, turning a boat. It seemed like an eternity, turning it around. We made it back to the harbor. And I got to tell you, man, all the crazy things I've done in my life, I really, really thought that was one time we were going to be in the water. Yeah. And we'd have been done.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one.
It's a sickening feeling, too. Yeah. There's some things you can do, but then once you're out there and in it, it's like,
and it didn't help either because, you're in the cab, so you can feel the elements, but not totally. and he had
you saw the
spotlight in the windshield wipers, and it's just water.
Yeah, it was bad. But look, they were great hosts. We had a great time. He admitted later on, hey, man, we shouldn't. It was all learning process. But I told him, learning not at the expense of your clients.
Right, exactly. No, I've been in a similar situation. The only time of all the things I've done in the world, the only time I thought I was going to die was in the Bering Sea. And so
there we were.
There you go, Alaska. And so we obviously hunting kings, St. Paul. And we were in the Zodiac, and it was one of those ones we had a south wind.
Okay.
But I'm talking like sustained 50, 60 miles an hour. We've got video still of the windows in Mo's house that he has. You could see him like bubbling.
No kidding.
Yeah. It was blowing that hard. So for the first 4 or so days, we never put a boat in the water. We couldn't.
Yeah.
So we just went to the point.
Yeah.
So finally it's like, okay, the waves are starting to die. The winds are going to get better. We got like 1 day to try this.
Right.
Same thing, launching at dark because the days are short up there.
100%.
And you've got like maybe 5-6 hours a day of light. So we launched the boat and started heading around that breaker wall, and you can feel the swells already. It's like, oh man. And then at that point there was enough moonlight where we're like, you can still hear some waves breaking out there. You can kind of see them, and we're with Jeff, who's very good captain.
Very good captain.
Very good captain. Knows what he's doing. He's like, I think we're okay. He's like, it seems like a lot of rollers, but I'm talking like 15.
Oh yeah, down. Well,
I mean, all the way down. It's like it's just a wall of water all around you. They back up, and so he sends it. Okay, cool, no problem. We get out there, shoot our birds, great hunt, lots of fun. Now we gotta get back. Right?
Yeah.
Well, at the
in
time,
a following sea. Right?
And with that following sea now they're breaking.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And they weren't breaking when we went out. And Jeff's going, oh crap, what do we do? And there's another group out there with a different outfitter doing their thing. And we could see them, and they got too close to a reef. And I mean, the wave went over the Zodiac. They pulled out and got out. And we're like, crap, we got to get out of here. This is getting back. And so on the way back in, coming back into the harbor, we're sitting there trying to time up the waves. And Jeff's like, okay, everybody get in the back of the boat, and we're just going to gun it. And we're just going to try to time it in between waves. And so he figures out his timing, sends it, back into the harbor we go. And the whole time I'm just looking forward. And then buddy of mine, Matt McCormick, was doing photography. Yeah. And so I'm sitting there just looking into his eyes as he's watching Jeff and watching behind us. As like, I'm just going to keep pacing forward. And his eyes got real big, like, and all I hear is the crash behind us, and it just pushes us into the harbor.
Man.
And I was like, all right, we made it. But it was pucker time for sure.
Wow.
So, but needless to say, Alaska's dangerous.
Yes.
But isn't it awesome how this passion that we have for the wings?
For some feathers, man.
It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. It takes us everywhere.
It has.
Yeah.
And great friends
We
we
meet
meet.
great people.
You know,
it's worth it.
No, it's worth it.
And you get a couple good stories along the way.
I think this is like a perfect. I'm so glad that we're with these guys. It's like a perfect representation of the journey we're trying to go on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys sharing that journey with each other, like that special bond between father son, and then it's not. I think a lot of people get it confused with like this self-centered expedition that people
Like
go on.
egotistical
Oh, they
thing,
just
right?
want to kill
Right.
that bird.
No.
It's not.
Right.
Like that moment, it wasn't. It could have been, a pigeon that you shot.
That's
with
right.
your son, and it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
And it's about that journey, and
Yep.
then to see y'all come back and do the thing that y'all love in the area that you love.
Oh, yeah.
Stay true to that. That's another thing when people are like, I never want to leave but y'all come back and y'all do it right, and y'all been everywhere, but you like the certain thing that
Yep.
like that's just that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
Do you think you've learned things in hunting in other places around the country and in other countries that you've been able to bring back here?
I
Or
think
not so much? You think so? I feel like I've
I think because let's face it, so the big game hunting we do and all the other stuff we
yeah.
do, it hones you. You learn things that you didn't realize. You learn mistakes maybe you made that you correct by watching other professionals or the little things, right?
Right.
Or a tracker that you watch.
right, exactly.
Doing certain things,
gosh.
So,
Those guys.
but yeah, I would say I think we learn not only how to become better hunters, I think we learn how to become better sportsmen. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And we get better with our equipment and our thought process and what to do. And no, absolutely.
I agree.
All of the above, I think, hones our skills for whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Absolutely.
Well, I've already improved. We had a good talk
Yeah.
on the truck ride home, And
We had a little coaching session.
About shooting out of the elbow.
I was like, please, Grayson, tell me how to kill birds. And because I was struggling this morning, and he gave me some really good advice. When you think about it, it makes sense, but you don't think about extra movement added to your shot. He was explaining to me that when you're in waves, you're adding an extra motion when you are panning with birds and following through. He made a really good point to where it's a lot of hand-eye coordination, instinctual shooting.
Yes.
So it's straight out.
Yep.
And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, the ones that I shot yesterday where I was feeling great, they were doing it right, and I was able to go straight out. And today I was having trouble picking out the drakes. And so by the time I identified one when they turned and I saw the tail, I was panning, and I couldn't get that shot. And so now I know he was giving me some good advice too, like a little bit more patience for when they go butt down, which they're going to go butt down. Right. And I'm all jacked up because I want to kill a new bird. And so as soon as I'm like, I think they're in range, I'm blasting all 3 shells. But when that butt comes down, especially for these old swall with the long tails, you can see them, and that's when you pick your moment to go straight out, because any additional movement to the rock and go the waves. That's great.
No, it's great advice. Well, I think it's a good segue into why Grayson's such a great So what we haven't talked about yet. So you guys go and you do the slam.
Yep.
You're already doing it again, going on more adventures.
Right.
Hopefully we're inspiring y'all to go to some more countries.
Of course. We're doing some things together.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do some stuff.
Yeah.
We have Barty side. Mexico is happening.
That has
we're going to tag along.
It's in the books.
Obregon
2025.
These guys are the Obregon experts. But are you a pro shooter now? Are you classified as pro shooter?
Yeah, I would. Yes.
For sure he is.
So let's talk. Yeah, you're being humble. I appreciate that. Now let's brag about it. So you're shooting sporting.
Correct. Sporting plays.
All right. So let's have it, man.
Yeah. So I started shooting in 8th grade competitively.
Okay.
I started on a high school team in Wisconsin.
Nice.
And I shot with, some of my new best friends for life. And I did that all the way through senior year of high school. I won Wisconsin State just about every year that I shot in that overall for sporting clays, trap, and skeet.
Think about that, Wisconsin State.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of great shooters.
And then we as a team, we went to nationals many times in Ohio and won a lot of titles out there. But that really started my competitive career in shotgunning, in what I love doing now. And since then, I've broken off, and I now shoot for the National Sporting Clays Association, the NSCA. It's all age ranges. It's not just about school or high school or anything. But in the last year, this was my very first year shooting the entire pro tour. Okay. I had shot nationals before that, big regionals, state tournaments, but it's been a grind. I mean, I started in March, right? March of this year. I had a tournament just about every week that we were flying to Arizona, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas multiple times. And it's really, really cool. It's, it's kind of the same as the industry that you're in, the hunting world. The people you meet, they're all like-minded. It's all very, very cool. But the competition level is very high. I'm sure. Especially at the level that I'm at now. Right. And I know some of the greatest shooters in the world, and, it just is incredible. But I've got some big goals that I'm going for. I really want to win some world titles, some regional titles, some of the major tournaments. But it's just incredible, and it's something that I keep doing for a long, long time.
And watching him shoot, it's amazing. Well, here's, if I may.
Yeah.
This is what I love about Grace. So I'm around all these shooters all the time, and I do some shooting, but not at that level. And we're grown men, most of us that are in these tournaments he's shooting against. And it's remarkable to see, it's like golf, how people can lose it when they don't shoot well. Right. Even some of the pros. Or you can see the rattle. I've watched him from 8th grade all the way through this. I know he gets rattled, but he does not show it. He's runs his mental program, gets up there, does his thing. If he breaks a bird, if he misses a bird, it doesn't. The way he carries himself as a father, I'm so proud of him. And I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and say that don't even know me. Hey, that's your son, right? Yeah. Man, I shot with him here, or I watched him this. They're always complimentary how he is. That's cool. On or off the field. So watching him shoot at this level is amazing, and watch and see how he does mentally and physically and carry himself with integrity through this is beyond. I mean, I just love it.
That's awesome.
And it's not easy at all.
No,
it's really not.
He's shooting, sporting clays, feat task, all these high games against the world's best,
Yeah.
national best, and sometimes he beats him, sometimes he doesn't.
Right.
He's usually up there somewhere. He's very respectful.
Sure.
So it's awesome. And he's got a whole nother, he's already signed up.
Yeah,
He's gone every month.
I'm booked out for next year.
That's great.
Shooting the Pro Tour again, and I'll continue to do it.
So is the World Championship, is that an annual thing?
It is, yeah. So for feats, which is a European sport, it's a version of sporting clays. That is when we go to nationals, we have it here in the States, but it's a little different when we do it internationally. Every year it switches to a different country. So like last year it was in Italy. This year it's actually in Minnesota, believe it or not. Which is nice. I get to drive to that one.
Yeah.
And then next year it's going to be in Cyprus in the Mediterranean Sea.
Wow.
And which is really, really cool.
That is-
But sporting clays, the actual game sporting clays, which is different from feats, that switches back from England and the US every year. It goes from England and then into usually Texas, which is where the big shoots are.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's going to take you to even more places.
Oh my
outside
gosh.
just the hunt.
And Grayson is a certified shooting instructor. So he's building a whole clientele of men that know of him, come to him and say, and the best part is I get free instruction. Everybody else has to pay.
I was going to say, make sure you stay in.
Yeah. That hour drive home is going to cost me.
But that's the really cool part about it too, is, I'm focusing on myself, in my career that I'm developing and honing throughout the past couple of years and the next years to come. But I'm also passing that knowledge out to the people that want to learn.
Yeah.
And,
great.
people that have learned and they want new skill sets and this and that. And that really fills up my year. When I'm home, I shoot about 1,000 to 1,500 rounds a week during the full season of practice.
Wow.
And then I have a tournament on the weekend or the week after. But in that time that I'm practicing, I'm either shooting myself or I'm teaching. And that really helps me too, because
So you're just locked in constantly.
yeah, it's a lot. But it helps because I'm teaching others and I'm teaching them my skills, which also sharpen my skills as well.
Yeah, that totally makes
So
sense.
it's really cool.
Tell us about your gun setup. for
Yeah.
competition.
So I have a custom made gun from Kohler Arms, which is out of Greyson here in Wisconsin. It's only about an hour and a half south. And everything's made in house, at the factory there.
Okay.
So like other big guns in the industry are, Beretta, Krieghoff, Blaser, others, or Prozzi, and those are all made in Italy or Germany or places like that. But it's cool to shoot a gun that's made in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I previously shot a different Kohler through my high school years, and I decided to move to more of a sleeker version for sporting clays because I'm not doing trapper speed anymore.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really cool gun. It's all Turkish walnut wood. It's
cool.
really, really cool.
That's awesome.
And I have it engraved, and it's black Cerakote, and it's a really, really.
It's one of a kind. It truly is one of
It
a
actually
kind.
is, yeah.
Fit perfectly to you, the whole thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Kohler's been great to work with.
Oh, yeah,
They're
they're awesome.
They're not a sponsor.
No.
What's
Yeah.
that all? What's that?
Come on, Kohler, you with the pro.
Yeah, but they're great guys.
That's cool. Is it 20 gauge?
No, 12.
It is 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
12.
Is that a regulation for?
No, it's not. So you
Okay.
can shoot whatever you want. 12 gauge technically gives you the best edge, for
I see.
competition, because I'm shooting targets. It's a lot different than hunting. Hunting, we're wanting to shoot ducks and geese in our face at 20 yards, ideally, or closer.
Right.
For competition, I'm shooting things all the way from us to the wall at 5 yards or 120 yards.
Gotcha.
Believe it or not, a clay target
Really?
that big, you got 120 yards.
Holy crap.
They purposely set them like that in certain situations.
Different
That's
speeds,
fun.
different target sizes. I mean, they'll go from that to that. There's rabbits that bounce on the ground.
Yeah.
There's different shapes, and there's all kinds of things.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
it is I think it's one of the coolest sports that you can play. For one, it's no contact. You're not ever really going to get injured.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that everybody's holding guns, but it's also an extremely safe environment because everybody knows what they're doing.
Right.
True.
True.
But it's just like golf, really. That's how I explain to people that don't know what it is, because sporting clays, I'm shooting 18 stations in a golf cart. I drive around the country. Every course is different, it's kind of the same thing. And it's really, really taken storm in the U.S. It's one of the quickest growing sports in the world, actually, right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good way to stay sharp in between.
That's it.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and it's a good thing for, any waterfowler, any wing shooter in general, just to go, to have fun with guys, but also to practice your skills.
We've
all
been
season.
talking about trying to start shooting clays, just, so we don't look
Sure.
so bad when we hunt.
Exactly.
So what you should do is,
Balls of ourselves.
you have a pool at home. put a layout boat or a little rubber boat and have Ryan make a bunch of waves and let it go, right?
Totally.
Let's do it.
We should do a video of how to do this.
Yeah.
The redneck version.
Just the redneck above ground pool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you said that earlier. Make like a workout video. For
That's right. We're doing sit-ups.
My abs are sore, and I'm not that fat. It's from constantly for all day.
Well, you were multitasking.
It's the camera.
You were working the flag, trying to get the divers in with the flag.
Yeah.
What did you
I think all of it was from yesterday because I
It's
had
with
to
the
still.
camera.
Yeah.
Ryan stole my Tempur-Pedic neck pillow. I was in it. So
Sorry
all
about
day, all of my abs are just crunched, and I'm craning my neck into the viewfinder of the camera. And today, I get out of bed and I can't move my midsection. I just kind of roll out.
I can't imagine. Yeah, mine are sore, and I was on the camera less time than you. And it's not from sitting up shooting; it's because when we were you're literally just
Yeah.
It's a crunch. It's just like
you're
crunch.
holding the hour.
Yeah. And it was there wasn't a lot. There's downtime,
Right.
but from my perspective back there, like every bird that's in the distance has a potential.
And they are, right.
So I'm like constantly tense, and every moment I get, I just like lay down and I'm like kind of watching out of the corner of my eye. But yeah,
I will say, so we're pulling the rigs tonight. We're done. So we pulled, you were in the layout boat. We pulled you on the layout boat first, and then we got him in the boat, left the layout boat. We came to get you behind us. And you were tucked in there, man. I swear I thought you were asleep.
Yeah, I did too.
He's in like a little cubbyhole down in there. He's putting the spray shield up, waves.
I thought he
trying to
died with his eyes open. I was like, oh.
And I even said, hey, man, you comfortable or what? Because you look like you were out.
yeah. Oh, I take those moments and I let everything go left.
That was funny.
Just been
I
crying.
thought I was going to have to call your mom and be like, he died.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Speaking of moms, we're talking about the shooting. She's been the most incredible support of what he's doing.
Yeah.
She sets up. She's all in whatever it takes to help him be there. So that's cool. Thanks, Mom. I mean, she's incredible.
Hey,
She is.
you can't doubt. Well, moms and wives that support this
100%.
crazy
Oh, I
stuff
got
that
it.
you
Right.
do.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this moment to thank Marissa.
Like I'm sponsor.
Yeah, I know the sponsor is Marissa. Thank you, babe.
So speaking of the transition between your pro shooting
Yes.
and waterfowl hunting, we've had some interesting conversations. I think you sold me and my buddy George on getting a 28 gauge.
Yep.
Give the people listening some of that stuff that you get, because at first I was like, no way, 28 gauge, no.
Right.
And you're like, well, I shot this
Yeah.
swans, and I'm like, okay. And then you brought up some other points. Go ahead and give me the quick sell real quick.
Sure.
On 28 gauge.
Resell kind.
Yeah, resell me, because after my lessons with your shooting tips, my wallet's gonna look a little bad. So now I'm gonna have to really get the bench for this 28 gauge.
Well, like my dad said, through the slam, I've shot primarily most of my birds with a 20 or a 28. And you've done just about everything with a 28.
Pretty much almost everything with the 20.
Yeah. We shot our swans with them. You shot your crane with them. I've seen you shoot eiders at 50, 60 yards with your 28 gauge, right? So that in and of itself says something, right? A 28 gauge versus a 20, we can say there's not a whole ton of difference, but a 28 gauge compared to all the gauges, especially a 12 gauge, at the 30 to 40 yard range about holds the best pattern.
100%.
It does have less shot. That's known. 410 has the less, and then it gets bigger from there. But when you have the right gun, the right choke, and you know how to shoot, it has the tightest pattern.
Densest pattern.
I mean, you guys have seen me shoot cripples this week and yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like nuts.
That's why we have that 28 in the boat.
Yeah, it looks like a rifle shot. It's crazy. And then you mix that with the lightness of the gun, the low recoil, low sound, right? It's just really easy to maneuver with, especially in a layout boat.
Yeah.
You have a bigger gun, you can use it, and it's totally fine. But you can get on shots quicker with a 28 gauge. You can move with faster birds, and you're not really sacrificing that much of the 12 gauge power.
Right.
And we have a couple of properties we own and we manage for they're duck impoundments, right? And we learned this again from our good friend Jack, who he hunts only 28s on his properties. And quite honestly, I thought it was just like a
gentleman's.
yeah, like okay, what do you do? Why? So I said, why do we do this? He goes, Mike, it's real simple, proven over and over again. The report of a 20 gauge and the report of a 12 gauge is much sharper than a 28 gauge. So he only allows 28 gauges to be used on the properties that he owns and controls.
Yeah.
Or 410s, because it doesn't rattle the ducks as bad.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
Your local bird retention on your home
That's right.
places is way higher.
So on our properties, we own a number of 28 gauges. Like if you came and hunted with us, I'd say, what do you want? Auto, over and under, what do you want? So we provide the shotguns because we want to have 28 gauges on our properties.
Right.
Because at this point, the retention of the bird stays. And I always, how many times have I said this to people? Shoot it like a 12 gauge.
That's what I said to you.
If you shoot it, you're thinking you shoot a 28, you're going to miss. Shoot it like a 12 gauge, and you're not going to miss.
Yeah. Don't overthink it.
No, exactly. Just shoot.
Yeah. No. And that instinctual, both eyes open, like just let your body do,
Right.
Treat it like a shotgun.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, we know a couple friends of ours too who have also done the whole slam with 28, and also with 410.
Yeah,
as well.
Right.
And it can be done.
There's
there's nothing saying that it can't.
I feel like it's an interesting, not even a debate right now, but there is definitely a trend more towards subgauges within the waterfowl.
100%.
Yes.
And there's one thing, this is my opinion, that the manufacturers are making a mistake. They're pushing this 3-inch 28 gauge. Go shoot a 20 then. What do you need a 28 gauge? We've been shooting 2 3/4 forever. Just stick to 2 3/4 because if a guy wants to own a Benelli and shoot a 3-inch 28 gauge, so be it. That's his prerogative.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
You're taking away the beauty of the 28 gauge.
Right.
I think.
So what about shells? What's say I'm getting into it, I want to go shoot some stuff. What kind of shells does it vary by
For 28?
species? Yeah, for 28. What
They don't make any shot size larger than a 4-shot, right?
Well, I mean, like what kind
Brand.
That and just what's the actual BBs inside? Like heavy
Shot size, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Tungsten is really good.
Yeah.
Tungsten, heavy shot.
and/or bismuth.
Right. Like if we're going on a high-end hunt, meaning species-specific hunt, we're going to spend the money and we're going to buy a heavy shot or something like that. They're expensive, but you know what? How many times are you really going to shoot on it?
Exactly.
Right?
You're not, yeah.
But
So
heavy
take something
steel,
that's got penetration.
right? And those are usually 10 to a box.
Yeah.
Okay, about $39 for 10, something like that, right? 300 and something for 100. But it is what it is.
Sure.
Or you can buy heavy steel or heavy metal. They come
Right.
in 25 2 box. I think 25 is about $30.
And there's plenty of other brands that are
making it
really good ones.
Totally. One, I mean, we've got a great relationship with Apex.
Yeah.
They've taken care
Apex,
of it.
there you
And
go.
they've got some awesome non-toxic, like
Which is-
tungsten
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
20 and 28s
Yeah.
that I'm really excited about. 'Cause I've got the Benelli Cordoba and a 28.
There you go. It's a great
And
gun.
I'm like, all right, let's put these Apexes to work.
In shooting that tungsten and bismuth, obviously we can't shoot lead in the waterfowl world,
Right.
but it's kind of the closest thing
It
to
is.
it as far as the
Yeah,
impact.
exactly. Exactly.
Some would argue that it's more dense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it would be interesting to see a study on that.
yeah.
But those are the wrong. Steel, I'm not a big fan of steel. I just think it shoots too fast, so we like the heavier stuff.
Especially for Seaducks and divers, because I mean, you guys have seen this week how many cripples have we, either found later or that we've lost in the waves or something.
For sure, which is interesting because we've been just torching the geese for the last couple of months with 3-inch number 2 steels, and then we're shooting the same thing at these birds, and they're just like, nice try. bud."
I've seen some birds go through some crazy stuff.
Dude, they
Me
can
myself hitting them 3 times, the first shot, second shot before it's on the water,
Right.
and then we're chasing it for 15 minutes.
Definitely.
It takes a lot.
I got frustrated today on the old squaw, and I've always been like, yeah, it's a sea duck, but it's a softer sea duck. Dude, I sat there and watched that steel roll over that sucker twice through the air. I could see where it's battering in the water because it flies so low. I was like, I'm done.
Aren't they cool how they and they just come in and they kind of do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see that tail?
Oh my gosh.
man.
Yeah.
There was something about that.
If
Did you hear him talking at all?
I heard a couple.
Yeah.
No.
Right, yeah. Right. They're laughing at you.
They're laughing at me. They suck.
It's a great bird. And we are so blessed. Think about this. We live in Illinois.
Right.
Green Bay is 2.5 hours. From here to our house is about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And we can hunt the east side of Green Bay, which is 2.5 or even less. We're really grateful. We field hunt for geese. We duck hunt in the marsh. But we also layout hunt. So we have this incredible resource here where we can hunt these divers out of an old traditional way of hunting.
Sure.
It's a legal way of hunting. Sink boxes were how it all started.
Right.
You're below the water. that's no longer allowed except for very specific waters. But the layout hunting is technically a legal sink box that you're laying.
Right.
It's a great way to hunt.
I think so
We love
too.
it.
It's I don't know. It's cool too because usually you're just running one hunter. Sometimes you run, but you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Usually,
so
yes.
you're really kind of in your moment, in
Right.
your zone, and it's not like you're trying to. I know I've hunted with a lot of people that are trying to jump up and shoot before the
Right.
guy next to them. And
Now
It's
tomorrow,
not
though,
that at all.
we're going to
Run
put
two, yeah.
We'll run 2 layout boats close enough together where 2 hunters are hunting the same spread. And like I said, if the bird, we'll watch the first couple flights that come in.
Right.
If the birds don't act properly, then we'll have to pull that one because they're not liking the 2. Sometimes we'll get away with it. We'll see how it goes.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be
You
fun.
never know until you try.
That's right. No.
Very cool. Well, gosh, guys, again, can't thank you enough for the opportunity to get to come on here with you. I know we're doing Mexico, so we'll call this part 1 of the podcast with you guys, and we're gonna do part 2 will be in Mexico, and I have a sneaky suspicion because of it'll be a great one.
Oh, it'll be a great hunt. You have no idea. We set that up.
So excited for Mexico. But I have a sneaky suspicion because of our love for Africa, the 3 of us. Kayam too. Kayam's been to Africa with me a couple times. We all love Africa.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking you guys into going to Africa.
No, we would love to go.
That's going to be epic too.
It would be great to do that with it. We'd really enjoy that.
I love it. Yeah. Well, that being said, we typically like to wrap our podcast up with 2 questions.
Okay.
We'll do the first question, and we'll both have you answer that one. Okay. So, bucket list birds. My favorite topic. It changes week to week for me.
Which these guys have a special perspective.
Yeah.
They've
done the North American stuff.
Yeah.
So, of all the waterfowl species in the world, what is the number 1 that you haven't shot yet? What is the number 1 you'd want to go after?
I think we were talking about that
We
earlier.
both said earlier.
Our answer is kind of both Eurasian
Same.
widgeon.
We said the same. Eurasian widgeon.
Awesome.
But a good one.
Yeah.
Like a mounted one.
Primo. Like,
Primo Eurasian widgeon.
And I think
dark
that comes from our hunts on the Aleutians. I've had a couple opportunities that I could have maybe pulled off on Euros before. Just couldn't put it together. But I think it's also that because I was so close to getting it that I really want to pull it off now.
I really want it.
Yeah. And another one that was high on my list for a long time was a tufted duck.
Yes.
Oh,
Those are
yes.
really cool.
That would be my second choice. We both have the same 100%.
Y'all been hunting together for so long, much. The list is the same.
Because on ADAC, they told us that there might be Eurasians and there's a chance at a tough.
Really?
They've shot
They
them.
come into there?
They've shot them.
That's interesting because, I mean,
And
Am I right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Smews as well.
Yeah. They've shot a few out there.
So for everybody listening that may not be familiar with those species, a Eurasian widgeon looks really similar to the American widgeon, except for instead of that green, it's kind of this orangey rust color. Really good ones will have a little bit of black, kind of in the back part and in the throat.
And they've got like a bluish gray body, kind of different primaries and secondary markings and everything.
But beautiful birds.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Kind of hard not to have that as part of the World Widgeon Slam. But you can also find them predominantly actually in Europe and Asia.
Yes.
So
That's hop, skip, and a jump.
They just fly on them. The tufted duck, same thing, primarily Europe and Asia.
Yeah.
And then the smew, as far as I know, that's primarily Russia.
Yeah,
I think so.
And that's why they get them sometimes, because the Aleutians, as you know, they're so close to Russia, and ADAC is almost on the tip.
Right.
So the Euros, the tufted duck, and the smew, they come from Russia
makes sense.
and somehow find their way over there.
Exactly.
So.
Gotta love it. And a tufted duck, in my opinion, looks really similar to a bluebill or scop.
Yeah.
Except it's got like this cool ponytail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Back.
Right.
They look real cool.
And then the smew is unlike anything out there. It's got the like that razor bill, kind of like a hooded merganser would.
It almost looks like an albino hood.
They're all white.
Way,
There's a little bit of black markings on it. They're all white. They're crazy looking. A little bit of a hood, but not like the hooded merganser.
Yeah.
Super cool birds. So look those up if you don't know what they are. Last question, and we'll wrap this thing up. If you could hunt any one location in the world for waterfowl that you have not yet hunted,
That we have not yet.
that you have not yet hunted,
I mean, I think for me,
Where?
as much as you've been talking about Africa, I think that would be a pretty cool.
sleeper.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a sleeper.
We love Africa. I mean, you've been to Africa a lot over the years for big game, and then I've been there 3 times for big game. But with as much as I love Africa and as much as I love waterfowl hunting, I think that would be pretty cool.
It's a special place.
I can tell you why. It's not a place, it's how.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. And I experienced this one time in my life, And I'm desperate, and I mean this, if you know someplace, I'm all ears. I want to do it so bad for him to experience this. I got lucky one time in Arkansas that I got to hunt true flooded timber.
Yeah.
Well, we rode in on boats, ditched the boats, and we walked in, ankle to knee,
Right.
hugged the tree and just sat up and kicked the water, and them ducks that came in were breaking branches.
Oh, maple leaf.
I will never forget that as long as I live. I really want Grayson and I to experience that in a pure way. I certainly have a place I want to go with. I really want to hunt that again with him.
I totally appreciate that. I love that. We've got some options
Do you?
to discuss. Oh yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
So we did a film, what was that, last year? 2 years ago?
2 years ago now. Yeah.
So I grew up hunting in Northeast Texas. We're from Northeast Texas. And it wasn't true flooded timber, but there's something about mallards doing it in flooded buckbrush and timber, and that's kind of where I grew up on.
Yeah.
Fully addicted. Yeah. Fully addicted. And we can talk about all these amazing species and all these amazing places, but there's just something special
100%.
about mallards.
Yep.
I mean, look at all of us today. We sat there looking at mallards.
I know.
For 2 hours.
At the rookery, watching them all pitch in.
I had to find Ryan, let's go. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, I love it. But yeah, again, can't thank you guys enough for the hospitality. Super excited to have you guys on again and do some more hunting with you.
And it's not over yet till we got a great day on the water tomorrow.
I know. We're going to finish this one up strong. Kaim and I will go back and work on our shooting. Yeah. Start doing the tele conferences with Grayson.
Online coaching.
Online coaching. Yeah. But again, guys, thanks so much. And
of course,
we'll finish it out. We're going to grab some dinner.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to have a great dinner and
get ready for tomorrow. But
hit it hard tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks guys for watching. Again, if you haven't watched the episode, Mike and Grayson, please go check it out. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. Sounds good.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Yeah.